Over the last 40 years, disasters in the Caribbean have almost tripled. At least one country in the region is hit by a strong hurricane every year, and ever-present threats exist, like flooding, earthquakes, droughts, and public health-related emergencies. Although Caribbean countries have made great progress in reducing poverty and inequality over the years, disasters like these threaten to drive vulnerable populations back into poverty. So how can these countries cope with these disasters? The answer is by mainstreaming disaster risk management into development planning through identifying risk, reducing risk, preparing for disasters, implementing financial protection mechanisms, and reconstructing in resilient ways. The World Bank's Caribbean Disaster Risk Financing Technical Assistance Program, initially implemented in Belize, Grenada, Jamaica, and St. Lucia, targeted one of these areas: financial protection. Well-designed disaster risk financing strategies are developed before a disaster strikes, integrated into core public finance systems, and combine risk retention and transfer instruments with an effective legal framework. Ministries of Finance collaborated with the World Bank to develop recommendations to improve their country's fiscal resilience to disasters. This entailed quantifying their contingent liabilities to estimate the fiscal risk of natural disasters, reviewing their existing systems for public financial management of disasters and their legal frameworks for addressing shocks, and evaluating the domestic non-life insurance market in each country to determine their capacity to build strong financial sectors for public and private risk transfer. At the end of the process, existing disaster risk financing gaps and corresponding tailored solutions were identified for each of the 4 project countries, which include creating an inventory of public assets and streamlining damage and loss data collection, approving a disaster risk financing strategy and streamlining reporting of post-disaster expenditures, establishing a contingency reserves fund, engaging external development partners in establishing contingent financing arrangements, and developing a disaster risk insurance program for key public assets in partnership with the private insurance industry. And finally, in the medium to long term, having government and the private sector work together to implement flexible social protection systems, improve the availability and affordability of private and residential catastrophe insurance, and enhance the availability of agricultural insurance. The effectiveness of each country's disaster risk financing strategy will be based on the strength of each recommendation and how well they inform the other components. The World Bank will continue to collaborate with countries to help them improve their financial protection mechanisms and take permanent steps to develop disaster risk management strategies that protect lives, secure livelihoods, and enhance fiscal resilience.